Hi, I'm Conway Irwin. I'm a senior director on the Investing in Energy team within S&P Global Energy. And I'd like to talk a bit about our evolving views on the landscape for battery storage in the US, which are a little bit brighter than we expected. It's a bit counterintuitive. We often think of battery storage as a complement to wind and solar PV, and that's true. But it would be hard not to be aware of the shift in the US policy environment and the resulting headwinds for clean tech as a whole. Financial incentives for solar PV and wind have been rolled back, tariffs are impacting costs, projects have been paused or canceled, and developers are facing new regulatory roadblocks to capacity additions.
Yet, battery storage installations in the first 3 quarters of 2025 had already exceeded 2024's record levels, and they resulted in an upgrade to our forecast for 2025 by 20% compared to expectations from earlier in the year.
So how is it that battery storage installations have outperformed in this environment? A big part of the answer won't surprise you. It's AI-driven power demand growth. US utilities and other power project developers are in a race to meet rising electricity demand as quickly as possible to meet growing data center needs. Anything that can help deliver power is being deployed, and the faster the better. Another important component is cost. Battery costs have come down substantially since 2020, and further cost declines are expected. S&P Global Energy research shows that standalone batteries will have the lowest levelized cost of capacity by 2030 among firm or near-firm resources, 30 to 40% cheaper than gas or hybrid options. Battery storage has also not come under the same degree of regulatory pressure as solar PV or wind. Lithium-ion batteries sourced from China, and that comprises most of the lithium-ion batteries in the world, are subject to large import tariffs. But battery storage has not seen the same level of subsidy loss that solar PV and wind have, and we haven't seen the same types of new restrictions as those affecting wind and solar PV installations, like secretary-level review of any proposed installations on federal lands. And despite the headwinds facing clean tech, renewables are still being installed in the US, just not at the same levels of growth we expected before subsidy rollbacks in this summer's tax and spending bill. Solar PV in particular remains on a growth trajectory, and we forecast 310 gigawatts of new renewables will be installed in the US by 2030. I'd add that batteries aren't just complements to renewables. Data centers are investing in large-scale on-site battery capacity to add redundancy in case of grid outages, and as part of behind-the-meter power systems, which are becoming more common at large facilities unable to get quick grid connections. So despite all of the headwinds facing clean tech, battery storage has a pretty bright future heading into 2026.